Governor, you have 15 minutes to raise your PO. Counsel for the County Assembly, you'll have 15 minutes to respond, and thereafter the Senate will make a determination on the matter.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the issues we raise in our preliminary objection are that we will start, first of all, Mr. Speaker, sir, we will invite your attention to the contents of an Annex 4A from the Assembly, which provides an audit of the login processes and details of how the voting went on. And Mr. Speaker, sir, that is contained in the affidavit by the IT expert at page 79 to 85, and also in the affidavit sworn by the clerk, page 95 to 93. And Mr. Speaker, sir, the IT expert says particularly at paragraph it is volume 2. Volume 2.
What is your issue, Senator for Nairobi?
Volume 2 of the County
Counsel
Assembly.
for Governor, just hold and pause the time for the Governor, please. Yes, Senator Sifuna.
No, Speaker, we've been through this process many times, and these are experienced lawyers. Part of the thing they should do before they start is to introduce to the Senate their documents. You can't just refer to documents, and we have volumes upon volumes here. I would expect that Counsel for the Governor start by telling us what his documents look like, and then we can be able to go together. Other than that, you're just speaking to yourself. With respect, Counsel.
Counsel for Governor, kindly be guided accordingly.
My apologies, Honorable Senators. I'm referring to volume 2 of the County Assembly bundle, and I will be juxtaposing that with bundle Annex 4A, also from the County Assembly bundle. Mr. Speaker, sir, our preliminary objection, the first point I wish to address is what has been referred to by the IT expert, and that testimony, his affidavit is at page 79 to page 89. And at page, particularly page 81, paragraph 10, 11, and 12, he indicates that they have been using certain software for purposes of payments, budgeting, meetings, and so on and so forth. Then he says in October 2024, an enactment was made of Standing Order number 77, and attendant to the enactment of that section, they then developed a system for voting by upgrading what they already had for purposes of implementation of that standing order. Then he proceeds at paragraph 23, 30, and 31 to say that system is accurate, verifiable, secure, user-specific, and friendly. And Mr. Speaker, sir, that's where our preliminary objection lies. We would like to say, first of all, if it were a specific, if it was tailored to meet the intention of that standing order number 70, the standing order number 70, standing order number 77A requires that in the event an MCA chooses not to vote, then he must be deemed to have abstained. Mr. Speaker, sir, when we look at volume 1 of the Governor's bundle at page 98 to 101, if we could look at that. The Governor's bundle, page 98 to 101 to 106. It is the bundle is pink in color. It will be noted that if indeed it was tailored to meet the intentions of Standing Order number 77, then it should also have complied with the detail of 77.8, which says that any MCA who has not voted should be reflected as having abstained. You will notice at page 98 that the votes reflected in that report says 33 voted and there was 0 abstain. However, when you juxtapose that, if we could go again to the volume 2 of the Assembly's bundle, you will find an affidavit by the clerk of the county assembly at page 90 to 93, and particularly at page 90, at paragraph 17 at page 93, the clerk is very specific that there were 47 MCAs in the assembly on that date. Now, our case is that the 18 MCAs did not vote at all, and we have produced those affidavits. And those affidavits of the 18 MCAs I will provide in a minute. But let me just make this first point I was making, being that if the system that they say was tailored to meet the intention of Standing Order number 77, then 77.8 requiring that it should reflect abstention, then should have reflected 18 MCAs abstained, or in the alternative, if it were to be the case which we contest, if it were to be the case that 33 voted, then it should have reflected that 14 of them abstained. And so that's our first attack on that pretense that there was any voting that happened. It is our contention that just a piece of paper was prepared. The second argument we make is that 18 MCAs did not vote, and the maximum number of votes that system should have reflected should have been 29 votes. And the affidavits that we have produced for purposes of supporting that proposition, Mr. Speaker, sir, are at page 117 to 120 of the governor's bundle. That is an MCA called Kiptagan. Then there is an MCA called Kibet Bozuben at page 121 to 122. Then there is Amos at page 125 to 127. Then there is Edna and Martin at page 128 to 131. Then there is an MCA whose nickname is Broker at page 132 to 134. Then there is an MCA called Cabriela at page 135 to 1. I was just struggling with the 15 minutes I was given, honorable senators. Then there is an affidavit sworn by one Gabriela, Honorable Gabriela at page 135 to 137, and an affidavit sworn by all the 18 jointly at page 113 to 116. In the same set of the documents, we have shown how they have already reported to the DCI for purposes of investigation of the impersonation of their votes. Mr. Speaker, sir, may I indicate that all the 18 MCAs are our witnesses, and we intend to call all of them, probably 17 or the 18. And Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, it is our contention that indeed, to the extent to which 18 of them did not vote, the representation that 33 MCAs voted is inaccurate. It should have been only 29 MCAs. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have identified particularly 4 MCAs whose signatures, whose votes were fraudulently captured as having voted in favor of the impeachment. They have said they did not vote, and to the extent to which the report on the voting at page 98 to 106 in bundle 1 of the governor's report purports that the 4 of them voted is a forgery, Mr. Speaker, sir. The other issue which I want my learned friend to highlight is that it will be noted that there are individuals, based on the login audit that the County Assembly has produced, that there were 3 MCAs who voted twice. That is Honorable Rogon Kiprotich, who is the mover of the motion. He voted twice. Not only is it reflected in the audit report, he also is on audio as telling one of the people he voted for that, please let me give you some money in exchange to you for indicating my having voted for you. The other one is Honorable Moses Rotich, who voted twice, and Honorable Beatrice Chepkoech. The other issue we wish to advance, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable senators, is the standing order enacted by the County Assembly itself, standing order number 77 4, which requires that when you implement the use of electronic voting, then the MCAs will be allowed, and I want to put emphasis on these two. One is to press, not only to press, but to press a button. And Mr. Speaker, so it should be a common ground between ourselves and my learned colleagues for the County Assembly that indeed there was no gadget which could be pressed and there was no button to be pressed. What they did is to send a link to the mobile phones and ask them to enter the link and do the voting. And we are saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, to the extent to which the standing order requires that you press a button, there was no device which could satisfy the requirement for electronic voting at that point in time, Mr. Speaker, sir. 4 minutes. Okay. Mr. Speaker, sir, we would also like to point out that the entry credentials, the affidavit sworn by the IT expert multiple times at page 79 to 83, to 85, is that there was a unique criteria to enter the portal. However, it will be noted, Mr. Speaker, sir, as my learned friend will demonstrate, that the identifiers were merely the payroll number and the ID number. And so anybody who knows the payroll number and the ID number could enter and vote. And indeed, as far as we are concerned, that's what happened. And that's why we are saying that this voting system is not accurate, verifiable, nor auditable. Mr. Speaker, sir, lastly, as I hand over to my learned friend, Mr. Wanyama, is to point out, Mr. Speaker, sir, that immediately after the voting, the site was pulled down. We are meant to understand that in response to our having filed our objection, an attempt was made to set up the same link yesterday. But between the time of voting on 15th of August and yesterday and Monday, the site had been down. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, we contend that indeed this voting system does not satisfy the requirement that indeed a voting should have happened and that voting should have achieved 2/3 of the MCAs to warrant you having to entertain and determine this preliminary objection. We pray that you decline to accept this motion into your House. Mr. Speaker, sir, I request for 5 minutes for my colleague, Mr. Wanyama.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable senators, there is a thorny issue which is creeping from our motion. The Kericho County Assembly has 47 MCAs. The documents submitted by the County Assembly show 33 voted in favor of the motion. There are 18 MCAs before this House who say that they never voted for the motion. So outside the legalities, the Senate can determine that question factually by asking all these 18 MCAs whether they voted for the motion or not. Because Section 33, Paragraph 2 of the County Government Act, it's what gives this House the powers, the jurisdiction. So we submit that there is no proper motion before the House. Because of that question, it was not supported by the requisite 2/3 majority as required by the law. And why? Mr. Speaker and honorable senators, allow me to invite you to look at Volume A, Volume 4A of the County Assembly documents, because this is where the explanation comes in. Volume 4A of the County Assembly documents. Now, the County Assembly said that they used a system. They used a system which they were deploying for the first time in this voting, a system. How would an MCA access this system? You will need your IPPD number, your payroll number, and your ID number to access the system to vote. I myself, yesterday, I attempted to access this system, and I was able to access the system which they had put after pulling it down, and I was able to vote using the IPPD number and the ID number of MCAs. The IPPD number is available in Volume 4A of the document. Volume 4A of the document, and allow me to just show you the yes, the same document is at volume the governor's bundle at page 259. The governor's bundle at page 259. And then from the county assembly documents, that is page 1 of volume 4A, you will see the ID numbers of the MCAs. These ID numbers were the passwords to access the system. The ID numbers were the passwords to access the system. So the ID numbers are here. They are there. Then the username is contained at page 4 of the county assembly document. Page 4 of the county assembly document, you will see the IPPD system, the unique payroll number of each MCA. So that's a system which was deployed. Now, this system fortunately leaves an audit trail. It leaves an audit trail. It's a system which, when you extract, it leaves an audit trail for you. So at page 13 of the county assembly document, their own documents which they've submitted in the House, page 13, you will see the audit trail. You will see the audit trail. Whatever happened to that system, which you could access using your ID number and the IPPD number as an MCA, and anyone could access. And before I go to this audit trail, the persons who could access the system is the clerk, the MCAs, and the IT personnel. So the system will tell you the whole story. So from this page 13 and from page 13 to page 14, page 13, 14, 15, you will see the audit trails. And allow me to show you this. This is very significant.
Counsel for Governor, 2 minutes.
Yes, yes. This audit trail will show that there are 3 MCAs who voted twice. And remember, this is from the county assembly's own document. 3 MCAs voted twice. Can I show you their IPPD numbers and their names? Yes. If you look at page 16 of the volume 4A, you will see that an MCA at number 12 from the bottom, you will see the credentials of an MCA, the IPPD number, the payroll number of an MCA, which is 202-002-51726. These are the credentials based on the county assembly document, the IPPD payroll number, the credential of an MCA known as Moses Rotich. It says yes. The logs say he voted yes. Now, hold your page on that. On page 17 of the county assembly document, look at the same IPPD number. It is the same, of the same person. Same MCA, Moses Rotich. It is said he voted again, yes. So he voted twice in this system. That is page 17, the first entry on page 17. The first entry at the top there is the same entry. The same IPPD number of the MCA who is appearing on the call logs as having voted twice. That is, it appears at page 16 and page 17. Page 17, the first entry. The second MCA who voted twice is Beatrice Chepkemoi. On the 9th line, at page 16, on the 9th line, page 16, Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 9th line at page 16, you will see an MCA voting yes. And the credentials, as you can see there, the IPPD number is 202, again 202. 96089. This MCAs, based on the county assembly document, we can identify the name is Beatrice Chepkemoi, voted yes. At page 17, on the 4th line, Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 4th line, you will see the same credentials for Beatrice Chepkemoi, again voting yes, on page 17. Then the last one, Mr. Speaker, sir, with your permission, Mr. Speaker, sir, the last one, the last MCA who voted twice is the mover of the motion, The move of the
Counsel for
motion.
Governor, conclude, please.
Yes, I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker, sir. The move of the motion, Mr. Speaker, sir. He appears on page 16 of the volume 4A at line 6. And the credentials at line 6 is 202, again 202, 96039. These are the credentials of a gentleman known as Honorable Kiprotich Rogoni, the move of the motion. And he voted yes. Now on page 17, line 7. Line 7, the same credentials of the same move of the motion, the MCA. You can see the number. Again, it says voting yes. So that from these login trails, we have counted 36 from these reports, which the County Assembly has submitted as the evidence. There are 36 yes votes from the audit, from the login trail, 36. But as part of the demonstration of fraud, they were able to say that only 33 voted yes. But the answer is that from their own document, which they have submitted in the Senate, 36 MCAs allegedly voted for this motion. And some were voting twice. Secondly, from this system audit trail, you can see there were 47 attempts to log in at that time. The major attempt was done by a gentleman known as Peter. Of course, not myself. Peter attempted to log on this system 7 times using the ID number, using the IPPD number of the MCS. You cannot see it, Mr. Speaker. You can't see the ID number because the ID number was the password. So you cannot see it. Instead, you will see the IPPD number. So you can see a gentleman known as Peter has attempted to log in 7 times. And the login trail will indicate that there were 47 successful login attempts. And then, this is maybe the second last point as I sit down. The technical people, while this system was running for voting, the technical people accessed this system 2 times. And allow me to just point out the last one at page 17 down there. At page 17, the second last entry on page 17, you will see log user admin. It's the same log user then accessing the system again at the end of it. And then at page 15, because this is in the middle of voting, at page 15, line 4, you will see the admin accessing the system. So our point is that, and then if you do, Mr. Speaker, if I have time, I will tell you, I'll actually show you that there are some MCAs who, or not really MCAs, persons who were able to access the system because the voting duration was between 14 and 45 seconds. You log in, it shows that you have logged in, then you log out for between 14 and 45 seconds. But there are some persons who access the system for more than 2 minutes. They just logged in and then they were there throughout. We're wondering what they were doing in the system. And then lastly, there are persons, if you look at page 13, when the voting is now about to come to an end, and at entry number 7, you will see an MCA who had voted, but then accessed the system. You can see a login attempt. They have accessed the system. And then they never left the system. So the question that we are asking is really peremptory as I wind up my submissions on this inquiry. Is this system secure? Is this system based on this evidence accurate? We have an affidavit of an MCA who said that someone else voted for him. If I, as an advocate, can access the system and vote, so what about persons who have knowledge to the system, including the user developers? They say this system was developed by the IT department internally. And remember, it was being used for the first time by the County Assembly on a very serious matter which has heavy constitutional implication. That is the impeachment of a governor. So we are asking, is this system accurate? Is it verifiable? So in our submissions, and we conclude this by saying, because we have laid basis of fraud, a fraudulent pattern by the persons who are in charge of this system, and because the 18 MCAs are here, this Senate, being a house of record, has an ultimate responsibility to inquire on that question now as part of the preliminary inquiries and vote on it. Ask all these MCAs, Mr. Speaker, sir, if you remove
Your
47.
time is up, Counsel for Governor.
Thank you,
You are
thank you.
repeating yourself, basically.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I will sit down.
Counsel for
Thank
the
you.
County Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, can I be heard? Mr. Speaker, can I be heard? Thank you. Mr. Speaker, my name is Elisha Ongoya. I beg to reply. For starters, in response to this notice of preliminary objection, the County Assembly has filed grounds of opposition named Volume 7. It's a small volume. If it has gone round, it has gone round just a short while ago. And an affidavit named Volume 7A, being the affidavit of Edna Chepkirui Tonui. I begin by begging, Mr. Speaker, that these documents be deemed to be validly on record. They are the documents I alluded to earlier. Having said that, I begin by saying that if you look at the written notice of preliminary objection, there are two elements of the objection that my learned colleagues for the governor have either abandoned or not alluded to specifically, alleging violation of a court order and reintroduction of the motion. Because they have not argued it.
Counsel for the County Assembly, respond to the PO, not the proposed PO.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Having said that, allow me then to start with the issue that Mr. Wanyama, learned counsel, raised here by saying he personally logged into this system and voted. That qualifies him to be a witness who needs then to demonstrate to this House how he logged into this system and how he voted, and therefore be a proper subject of cross-examination. Anything short of that, Mr. Speaker, distinguished senators, is nothing more than mere sensationalism, and I beseech you to treat it as such. The second issue, Mr. Speaker, is on the allegation of the logs that you have just been taken through. And I wish to present just 1 minute. It's amazing how sensationalism can arise. But if you go to page number 13 of volume 4A of the County Assembly's documents, the audit logs run from page 13 all the way to page 17. And allow me to demonstrate why you cannot determine this objection on the grounds raised by my learned colleague, Mr. Wanyama, by referring to a decision of the High Court on a similar issue. This Senate impeached another governor called Governor Mike Sonko Mbuvi Gideon Kioko, and an issue of